Good evening, America. Time now is 11:33 p.m. and today is Saturday, May the 30th, 2026. And I hope you're all having a great weekend. I want to finish my conversation I had. I said I was going to come back with an update on certain things. I wanted to talk to you about the planet Mars. Planet Mars. Many have studied and researched the planet Mars as to its atmospheric change, its stratosphere, its hemisphere. You know, it's based on electrostatic hemisphere. It basically intertwines with the same type of atmosphere that this world, Earth, has. It had that type of a atmosphere around the planet Mars. And how it became defunct and loss of that hemisphere was very unusual. Not so unusual as it was provoked. You can actually, in creation of a satellite as the moon, these beings can also deviate comets or asteroids to a point where they are used like weapons, unbeknownst the populace of the planet prior to an invasion or for takeover. Let me explain this, and maybe you may understand. It's not a sci-fi speculation. It's research studies I've committed to. If you notice on the planet Mars, there's a part of the planet which has like a scrape on the side of it. Now, figure this and assess this theory and concept. And my assessment is very simple. There was an ice comet that hit Mars, hit the side of Mars. Soon after, it destroyed a smaller planet, which is now the asteroid belt around Saturn. Now understand what I'm saying here. With the hitting of that ice comet on Mars, the hemisphere disappeared. It was destroyed. And many who were on the planet were exterminated, if some didn't go underground. And I would say that probably some did. But I'm going to be very tactful in what I'm going to say. Because one clue leads to another clue. So I noticed there was a discovery on the moon of a large starship, an ancient starship, where they found a mummified pilot. They call it the Madonna of the moon. On her forehead was an eye. It was closed, but she had the resemblance of a young African American woman. More so a human being than a rare species. But let me put it this way. She was of a Lyran species, Lyra, the same type of being that was on the earth with the Atlanteans and were found to be with the Egyptians soon after, and migratory. But on Mars, where they found all of those structures, all those built structures on the surface in some areas that were discovered, it was a Lyran colony on a planet of Mars. And a civilization. They were a thriving civilization. Now, I had explained previously that the Draco reptilians were after this specific people, because in Lyra, or the planets thereof around the sun system Lyra, there were about 7 or 8 colonized planets with the population of Lyrans or humanoid beings who were agriculturists. Their sole trade and work ethic involved agriculture. So the Draconians, who were warmongers and warriors, allied themselves with the Wolfins, a very vicious alien species resembling wolves. Now, we all know what wolves do when they come against when they go on a predatory hunt and catch a venison or something that they want to munch on. They leave in nothing but the hoofs. And so these Draco reptilians somehow managed to entice or fool the inhabitants of these colonies into believing they came in as good people with sound means and sound ethical values to change their society. And they tried. They did. They basically seduced that society of Lyrans, and they let them in, because they would have fought back if they had known something. But like the Trojan horse was for Troy, so were these Draco reptilians, Alpha Draco reptilians, who came from the planet Draco, or the solar system Draco, among many others. They had been conquering all of the star systems around them, and for only one reason: to get at their resources and food basically. So anytime these beings invade any type of I may sound like I'm going off the wall on this, but I'm telling you the truth. Anytime they go into another habitation, another world, they basically come in for the resources to destroy what they can and take what they can and leave it bare. That sounds too much for any human to handle. So what happened to Mars was simple. They were exterminated on the planet. And those who may have survived may have gone underground. Though they don't have a hemisphere. It's a bare planet. The reason they call it a red planet is very simple, because of the dust is kind of like clay, colored clay. Not necessarily red, but clay colored, dust. It dismantled, destroyed everything, all of the whole world. Disintegrated the oceans that were on the planet's surface, and there were oceans. Earth scientists have been trying to basically send rockets or send ships exploration to Mars, and I go along with that, as it can be colonized if it hasn't already been done so by the German scientists. I spoke earlier on in earlier times about what they call the Dark Fleet, a continuance of the Third Reich to the Fourth and the Fifth Reich, up there. What you see in the skies in what they call dark triangular type ships are those that I'm talking about. Human reverse engineered crafts. And I've got to remind you that during the World War II, during 1948, there were crafts that were created or bombers that were created in the shape of triangles. And we have some of those in our current air fleet and air force. Where did we get the idea from? Give you a tip. Reptilians and those others, believe it or not. And this went back many decades before those things we have now, because we did transfer the sciences from Nazi Germany to the United States under NASA's control. Astrophysicists. Now, I don't know what's going on with the current scientists. Many of them are being killed or accidentally fall off a building or have accidents, strange accidents. But take note of these things and Keep a list. You'll see some more strange things happen. And I'm sure you will see some in this ufology topic now popping up in the United States and all over the world. It's not just a storyline or disclosure. And they talk about aliens being demons. Maybe. But then we don't know exactly what they wrote and how you were interpreted, or how it was interpreted. But we know one thing: we're not the only creation and species in the universe. And talk about interdimensional, I spoke about this in my last talk. I talked about the 12 entries on the moon. 1 entry per month of the year, 12 months. Because it is the, how would you say, the calendar of the moon's rotation around the earth. And you note there's only one side of the moon faces out, while the dark side remains to the back. The one side in the front is what gathers the sun's energy. And that's when some of the portals are open so that the energy, sun's energy, can come in and recharge the batteries. Just like we have solar panels on Earth, they have the same thing. Maybe more exact. Where did we get the knowledge? Where did we get the technology? Think about all of the things that we've adapted to in the last 20, 30 years. Think about it. From a mere twist on the phone, hello, remember that? To a walking cell phone, where it's got everything in it. It's got AI in it and everything. Think about that. How did we adapt to all of that? Where did we get the technology for it? We got it from somewhere. We're not that bright as human race. Some of our IQ are so low that we can't think of that far out. But yet there are some of us who are bright. 200 plus IQ. Mine's way farther. I want you to understand, okay, knowledge is out there. And we adapt with what we find in technology. And we have buried technology in places that we have not yet discovered or searched. This world is full of knowledge. And as I explained earlier, look under the pyramids. Those pyramids weren't built just to be pyramids and structures. There were pointers to higher knowledge. So what's on top? Not necessarily what's on top, but what's under those structures. Think. How would you, as a civilization, trying to hide your knowledge and your gold and your silver from the enemy? How would you do it? If you know you were going to get exterminated, you would bury your treasures. And this world is full of underground passages and underground places that have not yet been discovered, under the desert, under the ocean, in the mountains, in caverns and caves. In deep holes. Gives you something to think about, doesn't it? Seek wisdom and you will find it. Seek knowledge and it will find you. Okay? That concludes my conversation and my commentaries on this subject. I hope that many of you have taken it and taken notes. And remember, like I said, that moon is not just a moon or a circling sphere around the world. It's a satellite. And you are being watched. Trust what I say. Be well. God bless all of you.